In this video, we're going to look at the use of the subjunctive to express influence and impersonal expressions. Okay, so remember, this should be a review because we saw this in the last couple videos. Weirdo is what we're hanging our hats on as far as the triggers that we use or the triggers that we see that result in the subjunctive. Wishes, emotions, impersonal expressions. So we're looking at this today, impersonal expressions, and recommendation, which is influence. Okay, so these are the two we're going to look at here. Doubt, denial, not yet. We'll look at those in a later video. So, and ojalá, which means God willing. Okay, so first of all, we have to go back and kind of review. Trigger, this is our formula, trigger, K plus subjunctive. And the trigger is these ideas that result in the subjunctive after the K. So for the trigger here, to express influence, we have these verbs. Now this isn't an exhaustive list, and there are more words like this in your book, but they're just some examples of words that are part of this, that are the trigger for the subjunctive. So let's look at this one. Yo te aconsejo. Aconsejar is to advise. Okay, yo te aconsejo que hables con él. I advise you to talk to him. That's how we would say it in English. Okay, this is not in the subjunctive. The triggers are in the indicative, right? This is just regular present tense. Okay, this is the subjunctive because it would be hablas in the indicative, but here we have hables. Yo te aconsejo que hables con él. Trigger results in the subjunctive. Insistimos, regular indicative tense, what we've already learned, present tense, regular present tense. Insistimos en que no fumen en casa. We insist that they, or you all, you, don't smoke in the house. Okay? Here's our trigger, insistir en, that's just a common preposition that follows the verb insistir. Insistimos en que no fumen en casa. This would be fuman because it's an AR verb in the indicative, but in the subjunctive it's fumen. Okay? Okay, so those are just examples of this way of expressing influence, or how the subjunctive, anytime there's this idea of expressing influence, recommendation, it will result in subjunctive. Those triggers that belong in that group result in subjunctive. Okay, now we'll look down here, impersonal expressions. Here's a list of impersonal expressions. Again, it's not exhaustive. There are more in your book, and there are probably more that aren't in your book. But these are common. Es importante, es imposible, es mejor, es necesario. Okay, we see urgency here, don't we? We see, I'm trying to get you to do something. I'm recommending that you do something via these impersonal expressions. So we have a little bit of overlap here. Es importante que usted coma bien. Okay, es importante que usted coma bien. Here's my trigger. Here's the subjunctive. Now remember that the subjects are different. Here, this is impersonal, so the subjects just generally, in general, it's important. But the subjects are different in the first clause versus the second clause. Okay? Here the subject is yo. Here the subject is tú. Okay? We don't see it, but we know that because the verb is hables. Here the subject is tú. Okay? Nosotros, we, insist that you or they don't smoke in the house. Different subjects. Okay? Es importante que usted coma bien. Impersonal subject, really just an impersonal expression, but here, es mejor que estudiemos, not estudiamos, estudiemos ahora. Okay? Another impersonal expression. Okay, with ojalá, ojalá, God willing, we can go to the party. We hope. It's kind of like saying, hopefully we can go to the party. Ojalá que podamos, not podemos, here's my subjunctive, here's my subjunctive, here's my subjunctive. Que podamos ir a la fiesta. Okay, now something kind of unique with ojalá and only ojalá is you can throw the K out. You can say, ojalá podamos ir a la fiesta. Okay, but if you don't want to worry about that, just make sure you have K in these constructions when you're dealing with the subjunctive. Okay, so again, expressing influence and using impersonal expressions and ojalá, these are triggers for the subjunctive, and here is our formula. Trigger, K, subjunctive, different subjects. Now, just very quickly, if I don't change my subject, if I just want to, es importante, I just want to keep it very general, es importante, I can just put an infinitive here. If I don't want to use that K, es importante comer bien. But it's very general. It's important to eat well. Here, it's important that you eat well. Okay, a little bit different meaning there. But if you see one of these triggers and the subjects are the same, then you can just use an infinitive.